All right, here we are again in my car again. It's 9 o'clock. It's Tuesday morning. Just dropped off my son, dropped off my daughter about 45 minutes ago at school. So today we're going to fast. So I called the video fasting for 36 hours, but we're actually going to go longer. We're going to hit about 40 hours. I would like to hit 42. I don't know that we'll make it, but we're going to hit 40. So, how are we going to do it? Well, I'm already 15 hours into my fast. How is that? I last ate at 6 o'clock last night, dinner with my family. So, we've already got 15 hours done. Woke up in the morning, getting kids ready for school and all the things, didn't eat anything. So, we're not going to eat again until tomorrow. So, we last ate at 6 o'clock last night. We're not going to eat today. And then tomorrow, I won't eat until 10, 11, 12, somewhere in that time frame to get us to 40, close to 42. So if you're new to fasting, if you haven't fasted, or if maybe you're doing like 16-8 fasting and you want to extend it for longer, stay tuned with me today. If you're having a hard time with the fasting day, watch this video in your day to help you to keep you going. So because it can get kind of hard sometimes, but we don't want fasting to be hard, so make sure you keep yourself busy. I'm working from home today. That's kind of harder for fasting, but I've got a lot to do today. And on fasting days, make sure you're drinking your water. We're going to try and get 2 of these down. They're half gallons, so for a gallon total. I don't know if that will happen. We'll at least get like 1.5 of those down, but we'll want to try to get 2 of those. And so it's about 9 o'clock. I'm going to go work out with my trainer. I meet her at 9:15. We work out for an hour. After that, I'll go home, get a shower in, and then I have to get to work. You guys know I'm an attorney. I own a law firm. So I've got a phone call with the IRS for a client at 11. That's about an hour and a half because getting through the IRS takes a long time. I've got a client call at 12:30, a client call at 1, a client call at 1:30, a client at 2 o'clock. I got to call another attorney about one of my client's cases. And then 3 o'clock, it's time to do school pickups. My son gets out at 3:45. And then my daughter has basketball after school, so I won't pick her up until 4:45. But we've got a planned day. Let's take you along and let's get through your 36-hour fast, if not longer. If you want to join me for 40 or go for that 42, let's do it. All right, let's get into it. All right, just finished my workout and got my butt kicked. Really didn't feel like going today, but the days that you don't want to go are the days that you need to go, right? So went, did it. I'm dying. I'm not hungry. So I'm drinking my water. Oh, I still have my gloves on. Take those off. So I'm going to head home. It's 10:20. I'm going to go home, take a shower, call the IRS at 11. That'll take at least an hour for my client to sort some things out. Drinking my water. And so on fasting days, some people are like, well, can I have diet soda? Can I have bone broth? Can I have no, you cannot. No, we are fasting. We're not having anything but water. If I really feel like I really need something, I'll chew a piece of sugar-free gum. But you don't want to be chewing a bunch of that all day long. One piece, maybe 2 max, but I don't even have any gum at home today, so I won't be having any gum. So we're not eating or drinking anything. Even if it has 0 calories, it's still going to trigger an insulin response, even if it's sugar-free and has fake sugar. We're not doing it. We're drinking water. So that's, really important to understand, to really hit the benefits of fasting and alternate day fasting and the autophagy and your insulin. For all the things, you need to fast, and you can do it. I've done it many, many, many times when I previously would have said, oh, there's no way that I can fast. Yes, you probably can hear my blinker. So that's where we are. It's 10:20. Gonna do that. I will check in with you around lunchtime. And we're going to keep going, and we're going to hit these 40 or 42 hours of fasting. So, all right. Well, that went easier than expected, much easier. It's only 11:40. Finished the call with the IRS. It went much smoother than I thought. Usually calling the IRS takes like a couple of hours. So it's 11:40. I've got almost an hour until my client call at 12:30. Not really feeling hungry, feeling pretty good. My water is in my living room. You need to grab that. You have to keep your water with you at all times and keep drinking it. We've got to get through at least one and a half of those, about 100 ounces of water, if not drinking two of my bottles, which would be a full gallon of water. So with fasting, as long as you keep yourself occupied, like you'll get through the day. And even if you have moments where like you think you're hungry, or maybe even like you feel like, hunger signals, like I feel like my glasses are really dirty. Even if you're feeling like hunger signals, right? Like maybe your stomach is growling. Like if you sit through it and sit with it for, I don't know, 5 to 10 minutes, like it will pass. And that's when I feel really good, because it's like, okay, my stomach is, growling. I've sat through it. I maybe, thought about how am I really feeling, what's really going on. And then once that passes and you're not feeling like the growling or hunger feelings anymore, like, like your body is going to work and is eating your own fat. It sounds disgusting, I know, but that is the best thing for your body to eat if you're trying to lose weight, is your own fat. And that's what's happening if you're not eating food. You don't need to put food in your mouth. Believe me, your body has plenty of stored calories to feed itself. You don't need to add any more in there. So it's going on, 11:40, going on noon. And I'm going to have some appointments this afternoon. And then when I leave to pick up my kids, probably around 3, I will check back in on that car ride. Usually between 2 and 4 is kind of like the witching hour, where it's like, if I'm going to break my fast and like give in, that's when I'm probably going to do it. It's between like 2 and 4. Because after 4, like as we hit 5 and 6 o'clock, like I'm getting so close to bedtime at that time of day. I go to bed around 9:30 is when I go to lay down. So okay, like I'm almost there. So around 6 o'clock, like I don't want to give in. Around 2 and 4 o'clock, those are my weak hours. So just you have to know like what works for you, what doesn't work for you, and maybe when you're a little weaker, maybe when you're a little stronger. So 2 to 4, I'll be wrapping up some phone calls, going to pick up kids from school, just keeping busy, not sitting at home. If you sit at home during that time when you're a little weak, you just might give in. So, all right, so that's where we are, going on noon, doing good. So let's see, how many hours are we in? We are 18 hours in, going strong. We're going to keep going and double it and hit that 36. And like I said this morning, we're going to hit about 40. So, all right, let's keep going. Okay, checking back in. It is 3:15. I meant to leave it like 3:10, but it's okay. And I have to try with my sunglasses on. Going to pick up my son from school. My daughter has basketball after school, so she won't be out until like 4:45. So, but fasting. Where are we with fasting? Still fasting. So where are we? It is 3:15. Let's try to do some math. At about 21 hours of fasting and going strong, still going. I was pretty busy with work calls and stuff, so that helps to like keep me distracted. Like I have to be busy and doing something. I can't just be like sitting and watching TV and fasting. Like that's not really a good recipe for fasting. So make sure that you are doing something, whether it's if you're at work, working from home, or doing stuff around the house, or running errands, whatever you're doing, make sure that you're just keeping busy. So, because sitting down on the couch and watching TV, that's just a recipe for disaster when it comes to trying to fast. At least for me. At least for me, it is. So, we're going to pick up my son and then pick up my daughter later. And then for dinner, I already cooked dinner yesterday. And whenever There's certain meals that when I make them, I make double batches so I don't have to cook the next day. So spaghetti is one of them, tacos is one of them. Just there's certain things. And so yesterday I made spaghetti, which we had yesterday around 6. I made a double batch. So I will just reheat that tonight for my husband and kids to eat. Um, and so that'll be easy for them and easy for me. And so, yeah, so I definitely could go for something to eat. Like, it's not that food doesn't sound good. Like, it definitely sounds good, but like, I know that I'm not hungry. I'm not hungry. Um, and so, but if you get bouts of feeling hungry, like I mentioned earlier, like, sit with it, wait the 5 or 10 minutes for that to pass, know that your body is going to turn to itself for the resources it needs to feed you. And a lot of times we eat out of habit, right? So we eat because either it's a habit or as a way to deal or not deal with certain emotions. Like, I know if I've had a really stressful day or a really exhausting day at work, like coming home and having a snack with a glass of wine just sounds like an amazing way to unwind, but not because I'm hungry, right? So, and that's okay, but I think it's important to recognize that and to be in tune as far as when you're hungry versus when food is solving another problem for you, and when it's helping you to deal or not deal with certain emotions, certain feelings, certain thoughts, whatever it may be. There's something else going on usually that we just instinctively turn towards food, but food is not actually the answer to the underlying issue, whatever the underlying issue might be. So, some food for thought there, some things to think about. And that's what fasting has really helped me identify that I haven't identified on other weight loss plans, is like how I was thinking and feeling and what I was dealing with or not trying to deal with food. Because food's not the answer for those things. Like, if you just deal with the thing and be done with it, you don't need to turn to food for it. But we don't want to deal with it. So we turn to food and try to like ignore it and just like push it down and push it down and push it down to avoid the issue. Anyways, long way to say that it's about 3:20 now and still feeling pretty good. Oh, what is this guy doing? Oh, some people drive crazy. Like, just don't know what they're doing. So, we are going to keep fasting. Not going to eat until tomorrow, probably around 10, 11, 12 in the morning, somewhere in that time frame. So, we'll see. We'll see about that. And I should end around 40 hours of fasting. So, if you're trying to figure out when to fast and how to hit 36 hours, I recommend you start the night before. So, you try to have your last meal early. Like, we had ours around 6 yesterday. Around 4 would have been better, but 6 is fine. So, you have at least 6 hours that evening, the whole next day, and then by the time you have your breakfast, hopefully you're at or past your 36 hours. That's what works for me to hit my 36, usually again around 40 or 42. So hopefully that was helpful, and I will keep checking in as we make it through to about hour 40. All right. All right. Good morning. It's Wednesday morning. I did not check in last night. Got home after that, I had basketball practice. Got home like at 5, and I had to do homework, and then made them dinner and showers and just all the things. Before you know it, it's 9 o'clock, and I'm going to bed. Like, I go to lay down at 9 o'clock, and so I didn't check in again last night. But that's all right. We are here. It is 9:30 a.m. Wednesday morning, so we are at like 39 hours. I actually took the kids to school this morning. I actually kind of considered having some breakfast this morning. I was like, no, like, you're so close. Like, don't do it. So didn't do it. Just got the kids ready for school, dropped them off, and went to Trader Joe's, got a few things. Now I'm gonna head to the trail to get my 4 miles in, and then I won't get home until like 10:45, 11. And by that point at 11, we'll be at 41 hours. So we will definitely have a snack when we get home. What will it be? I don't know. It might be a breakfast sandwich. But This is how I make it through a 36-hour fast, but usually it's more like a 40-hour fast. And so I used to do this 3 days a week. I don't do it 3 days a week anymore. I'm pretty close to where I want to be and now approaching maintenance. And so I used to fast, alternate day fast on Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. So now Sundays, I usually OMAD. I just have dinner with the family. And then I'll alternate day fast at least once a week, maybe twice a week, or maybe I'll do 2 OMADs and 1 ADF, alternate day fast. I'm kind of navigating to figure out what works for me. But it's a great way for not just for weight loss, but to understand like your habits and eating and all your thoughts around it and your feelings and things like that we don't normally really get into or talk about too much. And so that's been the biggest key for me with losing the weight is actually understanding when I was eating and why I was eating and how to not use food in a way that is not helpful to me. And with fasting, like it can be hard. Like sometimes it can be hard and we don't want it to be hard. And maybe, if you haven't tried alternate day fasting or you're new to it, like you just keep trying at it. Like even though I may plan to fast, I don't always fast for the 36 40 hours that I want to. Like there's some days where it's like, man, I'm gonna break my fast. And if that's you, if you're having a hard time making it through an alternate day fast, like that's okay, but you have to try again. Like you can't just give up on it because it didn't work for you one time. Like, and if you don't make it 36 hours, but if you hit 20 hours, if you hit 18 hours, like if you hit a longer fasting period than you had before, like that's amazing. Like that is progress, that is success. You're doing good for you and you're keeping your commitments to yourself and your promises to yourself. Even if you don't make it the whole way through. Because there's certainly I have even now, like, and I've been doing this for a while now. Like even now I have days where it's just like, after 20, I think I told you yesterday, like around 2 4 o'clock in the afternoon is when, if I'm gonna like break my fast, like it's probably gonna be around that time frame, especially if I'm just at home. So I also want to just make sure that you know that like you're not always going to do it perfectly. I don't always do it perfectly, but that's okay. We're not expecting perfection. And if you make mistakes, like you're going to learn along the way, like, okay, I have a harder time. Like, I know for me, if I'm just at home, I know I'm going to have a hard time with fasting. So I have to keep busy. I have to plan my day around knowing my fasting. And that's why I went to Trader Joe's this morning. And that's why I'm going to go do the trail because I want to make sure I hit my 40 hours. And if I just go straight back home, after taking my kids to school, I'm going to break my fast sooner than I want to. I know myself. And so you'll get to understand yourself and your habits around food as you go through this journey. So don't expect perfection. It's okay if you don't get it right the first time, the second time, the third time, or even if you've been doing it and you have a hard time with, like, that's okay. Like that's okay. But just do the best that you can. Learn from any mistakes, or if you have any kind of mishaps, or if you feel like you failed on one day of fasting, like you're going to learn from that and you're going to figure out how do you plan around that and how do you set yourself up for success. Like it's all right. Like it's not going to be perfect. It's not meant to be perfect. So I hope this was helpful. So if you're looking to learn more about alternate day fasting, I will link below some of my initial videos about alternate day fasting, like my first day of alternate day fasting, my first month. It definitely has been a journey. It's been a great one. It's helped me get over the hump of weight loss. I kind of had plateaued about 9 months ago after losing about 25 pounds of weight. And so I went to alternate day fasting, lost the last 15. I've lost 40 pounds in the past like year and a half or so. So it's definitely been a journey. I'm just about at maintenance, and I will still continue to use fasting in my eating plan, whatever that might look like. Probably some OMAD and less alternate fasting, but I'll still use it. I really like it, so I hope that it helps you as well. So, all right, I'll see you in the next one.